there, welcome back to sunny France. Stephen Howson, and you'll see, if you go and subscribe to Howson IRL, you'll see why I'm in France. Right, I wanted to talk to you today about 3 players United must sell. The summer transfer window that is right upon us is going to be one of the most pivotal, and I know we say that every year. Well, it is. And if we actually did the things that we would like to see done, then we would be all right. But we don't. But that doesn't mean they're any less pivotal, because every single one is pivotal, and they're probably getting a bit more desperate that we actually turn things around at some point as well. So, massive summer transfer window, probably one of the biggest ever, because it does represent a new sort of football hierarchy at the club, but also because for one of the first times ever, Manchester United are in danger of not being able to keep up with profit and sustainability, or FFP, or whatever you want to call it, league regulations that regulate our spending and our income. We've always done quite well on it, and United have sort of traditionally backed a manager one season and then not backed him the next. And by doing that over the course of the last 10 years, we've actually found ourselves in quite a neutral position when it comes to FFP. We don't tend to sell loads of players, but we sell enough to keep it going, and we make enough money where you can kind of just do what you want, more or less, every single season. This year, that's not the case. There's supposedly an absolutely minuscule budget for United to be able to make any signings with this season. But on top of that, we do have profit and sustainability, FFP, looming right over our shoulder, limiting how much we could spend. So even if Jim Ratcliffe went, fuck it, go on, let's have a mad one, we can't even do that. So United have to raise the funds. So how are we going to raise the funds? Well, unless we get sponsored by Jim's Perfectly Legitimate Business Limited, and we blast that across the front of the shirts for $1 billion every month, we're going to probably have to sell some players.
Do you want tickets to Euro 2024 with flights and hotel in Germany for you and your friend? Keep listening to find out how you can win. Matchmasters and I have teamed up to make your dreams a reality. Picture yourself and a friend soaking up the electrifying atmosphere at Euro 2024 thanks to Matchmasters. Step onto the field of Matchmasters, the ultimate multiplayer match 3 game where football passion meets puzzle excitement. Compete against friends, players from around the globe, or challenge yourself in solo modes. Whether you're just a casual player or a competitive spirit, Matchmasters promises non-stop thrills. And now for the grand prize, one lucky winner and their guest will jet off to Euro 2024, enjoying flights, 2 nights of luxury accommodation and VIP hospitality tickets to England against Slovenia. So how do you enter for a chance to win this incredible giveaway? It's very simple. Just click the link in the description, download Matchmasters, earn 250 trophies, which is quicker than you think, and you're automatically entered into the draw. The winner will be selected through a raffle of all eligible users and announced via an in-app pop-up within a week. Claiming your prize is as easy as a click, leading you to our support team to arrange your unforgettable Euro 2024 experience. So download Matchmasters now through my link below and seize your chance to win tickets, flights and hotel for Euro 2024. Do not miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Now, United are in a fortunate enough position that we've got 3 players that are on fat wages, because wages is an enormous factor in this profit sustainability FFP sort of calculation, that might actually have a decent sell-on value. Now, I've got 3 players here, and I think across these 3 players, and there is more than this, by the way, but I'm just saying there's just these 3 players, and of course you've got the likes of Antony Martial, which is 250 grand a week already off the wage bill. So there's £1 million a month, £12 million a year that we're already better off. But he's over 100 million here. You can argue amongst yourselves exactly how much you would get for each player. But I'm thinking if you sell these 3 and you don't get 100 million in transfer fees, plus whatever their wages is, and there's some fat wages in all of these, we need that 100 mil, and then we can go and start spending some money. Now, not included in my list is Maguire. Not included in my list is McTominay. McTominay's not on amazing wages, Maguire's on quite significant wages, but both of them, if you choose to get rid, should be in the region of 30 to 50 million, depending on who's buying them and which way the wind blows. I don't think that those 2 definitely have to go. I think if you was trying to raise funds and you identify the right target, they could go. But the 3 I've chosen are 3 that I think they got to go. This is DFS. The sale is always on. You ring us up at any time, we'll sell you a fucking sofa. 3-piece. First one is Casemiro. Now, didn't like the rumours that have sort of been circulating since the FA Cup final that he saw he wasn't playing and he went, guess what, I'm really not fucking playing. I'll sit in the stands instead. Don't like that at all. Really makes me think a lot less of him, if that's true. But it's pretty obvious he's the first name on a lot of people's out the door list. There's some talk that there's teams in Saudi that are actually willing to pay a transfer fee for him. There's talk of a total package being in the region of like 90 to 100 million. That's mostly on his wages. But the fact that there could be a transfer fee for United at all is an absolutely massive Brucey bonus. He's just not the same player. Some of the criticism from him this season has been a little bit over the top, but also some of his performances look like he just genuinely wanted to be sent off. Like, he was just doing mad shit. I thought he played pretty well at times, but he also had some quite, do you want to talk me through this kind of moments? And for a senior player and a senior, seriously experienced pro, a lot of it was real disappointing. Likely destination is Saudi. I think you can get 20 mil out of Saudi for him, and I think that'd be really good business for United if we did. He's on like 350 grand a week or something, so that is a lot of scratch every single month that you're not shelling out. Second is Sancho. I think he's a must-sell because I think keeping him, whether Ten Hag stays or goes, completely undermines any sort of discipline that you're trying to impart. I think the way the whole thing was handled by him and the club was poor. But I also think that there's a sellability in him. The problem is, it doesn't seem like the place that he probably would like to go in Dortmund have got or are willing to part with the money that would be required to take him there. And I think he'd have to go for 50 million. If I look at just the press he received alone, which I do think was partially trying to dig United out, I just get the vibe that that's what was going on. I think he has to be a £50 million sale. And again, someone who's in the region of 275, 300k a week. Mega. Loads of dough off the books. Love it. And then finally, Antony. Again, whether Ten Hag stays or goes, I think if he goes, I don't think any other manager coming in is going to be like, oh yeah, let's get the fidget spinner in. I just don't think that's going to work. I think if Ten Hag stays, I think how he deals with Antony will resonate with how he's able to deal with everything else that goes on. If he's able to jettison Antony and move on from that mistake. Look, people make mistakes. People make expensive mistakes. Fergie made expensive mistakes, was allowed to move on from them. Didn't end up having them slung around his neck, dragging him down. He gets to call it a mistake and then fucking move on. I think Ten Hag needs to do that. Because I think the longer this Antony thing persists, the more people are going to be like, anytime anything gets brought up, yeah, but Antony, yeah, but Antony, yeah, but Antony. Again, a lot of people disagree with it, but in my opinion, the whole Sancho thing happened because of how he was treating Antony versus how he was treating Sancho. I could be wrong in that, but that's my take on it. Like I said, I have no information on that. I'm just looking and trying to be objective about it. I think what happened with Antony came from, or what happened with Sancho came from what happened with Antony. Now, where he would go, I don't know. We signed him 2 years ago for 80 plus million. I think you would want to be recouping at least half of that back, which would bring us to a total, if you can get 15, 20 out of Casemiro, 50 out of Sancho, that puts us over the 100 million mark. I think there's 100% a market for Casemiro because of what he's achieved in the game. I think Sancho's shown that there's something about him. Antony was beyond frustrating watching him play football this year. I'm hoping that if United don't sign anybody, we just see Ahmad lined up. United just looks so much better with Ahmad lined up on that right-hand side. It's really hard to explain as well. And I get that he'll dig in and work hard for the team and he puts a bit of a defensive shift in. Come on, man, these are basics. The standards for Manchester United should be so much higher. I don't feel there's any threat in him. When he gets the ball, I know he's not going on his right foot. I know that. and so does every defender in the Premier League. And they allow him to come inside and shoot, probably because they know it's going in the fucking top deck of K stand. Every shot, 4 times a game. And when you've got a striker like Rasmus Højlund coming off the pitch with 0 attempts, and Antony's lost you 5 balls, it's not on, is it? You got to think more like a team and select the ones that are going to actually perform like a team. And for me, Antony doesn't do that. So I would put him on the chopping block and say, okay, we thought he was one thing, he hasn't been that thing. Let's not allow a mistake to compound and become a bigger mistake. Let's just say, right, listen, we fucked up, we spent a lot of money on him, he ain't the one, cut your losses and fucking move on. That's 3. Like I said, I mentioned Maguire and McTominay. I don't think there is a pressing need. If you have identified some targets that can come in and do a bit, bring them in. I think everyone will be happy with that. And move them on if you can make a profit out of that situation. But otherwise, I don't think they're as desperate to go. But if you want to raise 160, 170 million, yeah, they might need to get a U-Haul booked. Anyway, I'm going to go and enjoy the sun a little bit. I'm going to the beach. Subscribe and that. See you in a bit.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.